Hello, everybody. I know it's been a little while. It's been at least a couple months since I've done a video. But I honestly haven't had that many ideas. I've mentioned this before. It's not I haven't had a lot of time. I've had plenty of time, but motivation, some motivation, but just not ideas really. Nothing that really felt important. Um, I've listened to a lot of great music the past couple months, so it has nothing to do with that. Um, but as seems to be a trend, it's the controversial artists that kind of bring out the most for me to talk about. So we're gonna once again be talking about the most controversial artist, Kanye. Um, and I don't like just talking about him because he's controversial. I mean, I could talk about plenty of controversial artists, but there aren't any other artists who are as important to me that are as controversial as Kanye. If you've watched some of the other videos on the channel, you know my 2021 favorite album of that year was Kanye's Donda. The song I want to talk about today is Pure Souls. I see this song as kind of holding the same space as Ghost Town on Ye's self-titled album in 2018. It's kind of like the most emblematic moment of the album, kind of showing what Kanye's been his motif of the last couple years. I feel like they both kind of show the same thing too. Pure Souls and Ghost Town. It's kind of a very similar idea. This like embrace of childlike qualities, and I think the structure of them is very similar as well. But honestly, the structure, why I like the song is honestly not what I really want to talk about at all. Because yeah, I could talk about how this is a 10 out of 10 song for me, a song that has made me cry pretty much every time I've listened to it since the album came out, and maybe since before that, because I remember hearing the leaks and was like, just jaw drop, so excited for Donda just based on this leak alone. I could talk about that, but it's not really what came to me on my last listen of this track. So now when I'm looking back on this track, it is kind of from a more detached perspective. Still important, but detached. We're not going to listen to... Oh, damn. I don't want to listen to this track right now, because as I said, it'll make me cry. Even though I'm feeling detached in a lot of ways, it'll make me cry, which I'm not really in the mood to do right now. But I do have the lyrics. I'm going to minimize this so we can look at them. A lot of Kanye's music is centered around this Christian spirituality. Something I don't hold important personally. I grew up Christian, but I currently don't practice it in any capacity. I haven't for a long while now. I spent a lot of time the past, since I stopped really being religious, hearing religious music and witnessing people experience strong religious moments. I went to a Catholic school growing up. I went to a Catholic college, went on many retreats, and I pretty staunchly held throughout all of it. It's not for me. Well, I will say I went through different phases. I went through hatred due to feeling like I was so different from it, to acceptance in more recent years. I would say where I stand now is fascination more than anything else. Just kind of fascinated with not the words necessarily, but kind of the feelings people have towards religion, and kind of growing to understand how important religion is and spirituality is to a lot of people, and how awesome that is. That people have this thing that they can go to that they don't really understand, but makes them feel complete and fulfilled. I think that's really awesome. If you're a fan of Kanye at all and know anything about what the lyrical content of his music, he's constantly in these two different states. He's a horrible hedonist who takes advantage of everyone in his life, in particular women, doesn't care about anything other than sex, drugs, money, and kind of the opposite side, where he is devout family man, Christian, almost a pastor. The truth is only what you get away with, huh? You know, this is kind of the mantra of the track, and it's very much not something positive if you're looking and thinking about it, right? The truth, I will sing this track when it came out. Now I will sing it and like hold those lines so powerfully. But what does that even mean? It's a horrible message if you're if you're thinking about it. The truth is only what you get away with, huh? It's completely devoid of any sort of goodness, in my opinion. It's all about a lie. So it's not a positive message if you ask me. But I would say anyone who sings this song or listens to this song would say this track is life affirming. But there's another, this is not new for Kanye though. You could go back on Yeezus, on Life of Pablo, on Ye. This is and I did a whole video on Ye talking about this. But we're at the point of Donda, and we're post Donda now, and we're kind of just tired of it. We're tired of this, Kanye. We're tired of looking at you from two sides, trying to understand both of your perspectives, whether it's bipolar or not. Because your actions speak louder than your words. We see the way you behave, what you say to the world. So when I listened to this track the last time, about a couple days ago, I had that in the back of my mind. And I have this in the back of my mind every time I listen to Kanye's music now. And it's just like, why should I care about what he's saying and try to empathize with what he's saying and his perspective when he is such a destructive person when it comes to what he says? And something I was particularly thinking about when I listened to this track last was this line down here. Let's see. Personal worth is not what a person is worth. I can give $1 to every person on earth. Man, it's got to be God's plan. This is this is just like a very interesting. Well, it's a couplet and there's another line after. But I can give $1 to every person on earth. Man, it's got to be God's plan. This idea is got to be one of the most heinous, horrible beliefs that someone could have about themselves. And if you didn't know this, I remember when I first heard this, when Kanye was on, I don't even remember James Corden, the back seat where he takes a celebrity and they listen to music together in the car. Well, he did it with Kanye, and Kanye brought his entire Sunday gospel choir on his plane, and they sang songs together and stuff. Jesus Walks. In the song, he says, I'm not here to convert atheists to believers. He's here to just talk about how he needs God. And on this track, on the rendition of the track on James Corden's show, he says, I am here to convert atheists to believers. And I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, Corden's like, what's that about? And he's just kind of saying that he doesn't have the same perspective. He's here to convert. And he talks about how he thinks he was chosen by God. All this money he has, he was chosen by God to have it. Which I don't know how to even describe how disgusting such a belief is. That he thinks he's a billionaire. I don't know what his net worth is now, but he is a multi-billionaire, and he's of the belief that he deserves it. He was entitled to over $1 billion. And I don't remember a lot of people talking about that when that happened. But this lyric is pretty much as cut and dry that belief as it gets. I could give $1 to every person on earth. Man, it's got to be God's plan. As if Kanye is some sort of God in a lot of ways. He is worthy of all this money because he's giving it. However he spends it is God's plan. Terrible. And I just remember thinking that when he was recording the Donda sessions at whatever stadium, I don't remember which one, he was spending millions on millions of dollars just to rent out the stadium for him and everyone to record. When I listen to this song, and I'm singing the song to myself, you would not guess I held that opinion, that this line is heinous and just immoral, in my opinion. You know, billionaires in general, I would say, are a immoral thing, but we'll skip talking about that. I would sing out. Every day I put my life on the line to feed the whole clan. Personal worth is not what a person is worth. I can give $1 to every person on earth. Man, it's got to be God's plan. Because you know what? When I'm singing it, these words I will sing and proclaim as if they're powerful, all because of the content of this track. I'm picking and choosing, right? Without even really doing it, I'm subconsciously picking and choosing this song that makes me emotional, makes me cry. I'm picking and choosing the parts and the messages that align with me. Because I've said this before, what really matters is your relationship with the music, not your relationship with the artist or their relationship with their music, their relationship with their money. That is not the central relationship when you listen to music. And it's something I don't think we always think about. He really thinks he needs $1 billion to feed the whole clan, and that he needs this money. He's on that grind because he doesn't have enough money. Whatever he believes, whatever nonsense he believes about himself is not really central to why I care about this music or why this music makes me cry. Because I am taking, and I think a lot of people are, maybe they don't even realize, but this is what we're doing when we listen to music. We're taking what we connect with, and giving it our own meaning. More evidence of this is this next part, which many have kind of said is kind of like another line in the Drake-Kanye diss, which is just another thing. It's like, who cares? This song that's kind of beautiful, also this album that's beautiful, is being wasted by this stupid grown men arguing, stupid grown billionaires arguing. I think the bridge is really where the song hits its most climactic, emotional moment for me. A lot of time when I hear this bridge, I'm singing along to it, and I am kind of picturing the concerts, the reveals for Donda when this was playing. And I think it definitely shows more evidence towards it that if from an outward perspective, each one of those concerts was a mess. Like, technically, it was mostly just the songs being played on speakers and Kanye and the guests walking in circles. He wasn't even rapping or singing. But I picture myself in those stadiums, kind of not thinking about the mess of it, and just these lyrics kind of resonating with me. I don't have kids yet. I don't believe in God. But these lyrics make me cry when I would sing them. And, you know, when I listened to them last and I was thinking about all the nonsense of Kanye and how this song is such like a so hypocritical, that didn't really play a part in my love of this song, because these lyrics, the ones that relate to me without even really relating to me, you know, these are lyrics that I would consider some of the most powerful lyrics when it comes to me, but they don't even relate to me, right? I don't have kids. I don't believe in God, but I will still sing these lyrics like I do, while crying, while not being able to focus on anything else. Pure emotion. And isn't it, it's just weird. I think that shows something about music um, that we kind of forget. Music is not lyrics. Music is not, and I would say art in general is not just how we explain art. And I think when it comes into the super intellectual perspective of music, writing, art in general, it's looking for a way to define and explain why we love the things we love, why they have such a emotional connection to us. And I admit I also love to do that. I'm doing that right now. There used to be a lot of time when I was younger where I wanted to put to action my love and feeling towards music. I wanted to be writing reviews, as many as I could, writing journals about how I feel about the music I listen to. But I think I've come to a perspective lately that the music doesn't need to be explained to be powerful. The music doesn't need to have an explanation to be important. The explanation, or if you do have an explanation, doesn't really need to make sense. Does it not making sense, does someone poking holes in your explanation make it any less true? I don't think so. Even if someone was to say, when I look at these lyrics, look in the mirror, it's the truth of me. Looking at my kids, the proof of me. Someone could poke a hole at that easily and just be like, well, he's a liar. Kanye is saying things that he doesn't mean. You are saying things you don't mean. Maybe they could say that. You don't have kids. How can that resonate with you so much when you don't have kids? How can any of this resonate you when you don't believe in a devil or God or the Holy Spirit? I could not tell you, but it still is. And I think this song has helped me kind of better realize that. So I guess what I want to leave this video on is listen to what you like, and you don't need an explanation why you love it, why it means a lot to you. Someone, maybe even me, because having a perspective on all this, thinking this all, it's so easy to just lose it and get back into this like, oh, well, actually my music taste is superior to yours. Actually, my choice has more context and more chord changes and much more dynamic. I will easily fall back into that despite what I'm saying right now. But don't let me or anyone else delegitimize the connection you have to the music you love. Because it doesn't have to make sense. It just is. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this song, Pure Souls by Kanye. Leave a comment if you have any questions for me or want to add anything to this conversation. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.